Conceive, believe, achieve.
This is former UFC middleweight champion of the world, Michael Bisping.
Paddy the Baddy here. You're listening to Combat Sports UK.
And you're watching Combat Sports UK.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Combat Sports UK YouTube channel. Look, I'm joined by Mr. Aaron Aby. Nice to see you, mate. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, very good, mate. Very good. We were just talking off air. We both just finished up watching UFC 300. I mean, that's got to get you hyped, right? To jump back in there next weekend, eh?
Yeah, that definitely gets the blood flowing and the excitement pumping as well. It was a great card, lived up to the hype, and some moments that'll go down in history.
Yeah, big time. But no, honestly, no bigger moment than Wrexham being promoted to League One. How has that gone down in the Aby household?
Oh, it's gone down very well. You know, obviously yesterday things had to go Wrexham's way outside of their game. But it's just one of them. I feel like everyone feel like it was going to happen and manage it happen in style as well. So yeah, I bet your town was booming last night, and that energy will carry on going through for the rest of the season.
Oh, I can imagine. It's nice to get it done quite early and back-to-back promotions for your hometown club. I mean, there's got to be something of an inkling in you to win that belt next weekend and take it back to Wrexham, eh?
There's loads of inklings in me. There's loads, and again, that's just another one. Another one that is in there as well, and I'd love to be able to get that belt home and take it back to a game one day.
Yeah, that would be incredible and absolutely deserving of both Wrexham's proudest sons, yourself and obviously the football club itself. How have we been since the Christopher Daniel fight? Like, how have things been for you? Were you kind of straight back training? Obviously, the title shot, the belt was something that was straight on your mind immediately afterwards. And what did you do in the immediate aftermath of the win?
Yeah, no, I've been good. I had a week to 10 days off from training, let some things from the fight heal up, and then back to work. But that's always the way with me. I was back in training, you know, thinking about this date and just waiting on what was happening, who was happening with, but preparing for it and you know, getting ready. But that's always the way I am anyway.
And what did you take from the Daniel fight? Obviously, you know, you wanted, one of the main things you told me in the build up to that was that you wanted to keep active, keep things going, just keep proving that you are the real champ in that division. But as the fight itself went, what were your takeaways from it?
Mainly positives. You're never fully satisfied, and there was bits I've been working to improve on, but I thought it was a good performance against a good fighter. You know, but he was obviously a combat jiu-jitsu world champion, but also he was, you know, he's dangerous on the feet. He had a few knockouts on his record, and I feel like I just showed my ability to adapt in the fight, win the fight, and show my well-rounded evolution. So it was mainly positive, and you know, my decision to obviously take the fight proved true to be the right one, because as we spoke about before, there are risks from doing that. And you look at Justin Gaethje last night, but again, I feel like me and him are similar mindsets as well, and we wouldn't want it any other way anyway.
Yeah, and I think keeping active and being in there and keeping your name in the mind and calling out Garcia a few more times, that's obviously not materialized. It's now going to be a rematch against Sam Creasy for the belt Octagon 56 on April 20th. I mean, when that name came across your phone, your email, however you got the message, was that kind of one where you're like, oh, that's a fun one. Yeah, I'd like to get that back. Or what were your thoughts when that came through?
Yeah, you know, I feel like Sam Creasy, you know, he's ranked #1 in Europe for a reason. And for me, it's probably the toughest challenge out there that they could have got me. So it's one that makes you excited, makes you nervous, and also I feel like, you know, after my previous losses in my career, maybe, and I've said this, if you were to come in the back straight after the fight and said to me, "We fight this guy tomorrow," I'd have said yes, except for Sam Creasy. I feel like when I fought him, you know, I needed time to close that gap. There was, it wasn't close. I think two judges had it 30-25
Mhm.
on the night. So I've had that time now. So it's like, again, is that an inkling and a thing that's just setting us down this pathway to make it that more incredible next weekend? And I have nothing but respect for Sam as a fighter and a person. I remember when he signed with Octagon, I went on to message him, just like how good of a promotion it is and everything, and hope it goes well for his camp. And the last message before was like, "Happy birthday." So I wished him happy birthday, and I said, "I take that back." Uh, so and I feel like again we both understand the sport. We've been around a long time, and I'm look forward to testing myself against him now again on a different night.
Yeah, and you're very much who pretty much would have taken anyone in this fight. I mean, was there any back and forth between you and Octagon to say, hey, you know what, this, like from yourself, hey, this would be a good fight, or was it literally just that's the name they gave you?
No, there was I think it was like waiting for Garcia,
Hmm.
going through all that again, and then it was probably basically find somebody else. Uh, and getting someone else confirmed before it got sorted. So again, I feel like it was just a case of them trying to find someone who they wanted to fight for their title as well. Maybe after Garcia, but at the start it looked like it was going to be him, but I never like fully trusted that, and
Hmm.
it's probably worked out for the best now for Octagon as an organization, because again you don't want your champions to have that type of mindset and attitude, and then they probably started and they've gone, right, we need someone else. We'll start at number one in Europe and work our way down. Boom, Sam Creasy is available, easy work, let's go.
Jump straight in, yeah. And it's a credit to Octagon for getting this sorted out as quickly as they could. I mean, Andre was pretty forthcoming when he said at the press conference, look, if Garcia doesn't pick up that phone, that's it, done. We're going another direction. Does it feel like for you like this is right? This belt is mine now. Like you said in the build up to your last fight, you see yourself as that uncrowned champion. Obviously, with the build up coming into this fight, is that still the case? You still see yourself as the champ?
I feel like I could say it's my second title defense,
Hmm.
but unfortunately it's not. I believe I'm the best guy, but I feel like even if I had won the belt previously, every fight camp I'm going into, it's not mine.
Hmm.
It's up for grabs. Uh, and I feel like you need that mindset as a champion anyway to go in there and be like that. I'm fortunate that Octagon have sorted this fight out and keep providing me with the opportunities to test myself and be on the biggest stage in Europe. So as for the mindset, nothing's won, nothing's around my belt, my waist right now. I've got to go in there and do the job on the night next weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned there before when talking about Sam, you said, in that first match, I think it was 2021, wasn't it? That there were gaps. You kind of felt those gaps. Where do you think they were, and do you feel like those have been closed up or even surpassed by yourself in the time since that fight?
He had a skill set gap, especially in the a little bit of the wrestling transitions. He was
Hmm.
able to get to the body lock, but a big thing that night is I was weighed in. I had breakfast and then drank
Hmm.
water to make the weight, so he wouldn't know how light I was.
Hmm.
And Sam's a big flyweight.
Hmm.
He's probably the biggest flyweight I've fought, and I was probably the smallest version of Aaron Aby that I could have been at that time. I was still building the weight back on, and so it was like after that fight, we were like, right, we need to put an emphasis on strength and conditioning. We reduced the intensity of my training and made me eat a lot of food. And I've been building myself up ever since, because it is hard for me to put on weight with cystic fibrosis and do it properly, especially. So again, I've spent a lot of my time in that, and I do feel like the physicality has shown in the past probably 3 to 4 fights. Now I've started getting up to weight and doing weight cuts. So I do feel like that was the biggest difference as well. I'm not going to say he just beat me because of size, because there was other things in the factor on the night, but also for that fight, back then, like, I agreed the fight, signed the contract, broke my hand the next day, and couldn't use my right hand all the way through camp, and just had to throw it on the night and hope it was going to be all right. So it wasn't the best training camp for me then, but I don't want to like make that as an excuse either, because, like, you know, Sam's number one in Europe at the moment in time for that reason. Do I think I've closed the gap? Yes. Do I know if I've closed it enough and surpassed it? I'll tell you next Saturday.
Yeah, we'll very much find out. And do you think one important factor to this? I mean, you fought in the time since he last fought. You fought 2 times. Do you feel like that activity and that kind of keep on rolling mindset will be something of an advantage to you as well?
Yeah, again, I think it depends on who you are as an individual and your mindset also, because he might feel refreshed from a break, but then again, he might feel the pressure on the night of not fighting so long, being under unfamiliar territory like Octagon, when he's been so used to Cage Warriors for a long amount of time. So again, only he knows that. I'm expecting the best Sam Creasy that's ever lived to turn up next weekend. So I don't want to like think he's going to not come any version of himself. I'm preparing for the best Sam Creasy.
And let's say, I mean, I would expect you get the best Sam Creasy as well, and I would expect the very best Aaron Aby. Let's say on the night, I mean, what do you see as kind of your paths to victory, the kind of keys to getting that back and getting that belt?
I feel like I've been asked this question a few times, and with this fight, there's so many routes for both athletes and fighters to win. I don't feel like you can look at Sam and say he's just this type of fighter, and I don't think you can look at me now and think he's just this type of fighter. So I'm expecting like a fight that takes place in all areas. For me, hopefully, the size gap being closed plays a big part, because a lot of times I would, in the wrestling exchange, like, I think he took me down 12 times in that fight, which is a big number. I feel like, you know, if we can, it's gonna be a close fight. I feel like there's gonna be small margins. For me, I would love it to like go into that final round, 2 rounds apiece, and it's who wants it more. But it's going to be one of them nights. There's so many like unknowns as he's fighting, that excites me as well. So I don't. I feel like it's going to be a fight that takes place everywhere, and hopefully it's going to be a really good fight and a massive spectacle.
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, 2-2 going into the last 10 seconds. One of you just stands there, says this, right in the center. Off we go.
And I would definitely do that. I feel like, but again, I don't know if Sam would. He's a very smart fighter. He's a martial artist. He's good tactically and decision wise, but I feel like I would be one of them who was down there swinging, no matter the scorecards, with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, I just call you Aaron Blessed Aby from now on in.
Yeah.
It's obviously a massive card, and you're headlining at the top of it. But what else stands out to you on that card? Similar to the Manchester card, there's a lot of British talent on there, but also seemingly they've set up quite a lot of rivalries, quite a lot of Czech fighters coming in as well against the Brits. What do you see that excites you as well on that card?
The whole card, top to bottom, to be honest, is is awesome. I feel like it's a really good card to be on in the UK. You know, it like all the fights are exciting. Obviously, I got to give a shout out to Megan Morris, who will be opening the card at the bottom.
Yep.
And it's been great to watch her progression as a fighter throughout this camp. I feel like you're gonna see that on the night, the improvements she's been making. You know, some sessions she's been sending me home driving without the radio on. So, you know, and obviously Callum Mullen as well. Been training with him at Aspire, and he fights Dennis Stringfong. I'm looking forward to that fight. But I feel like it's a really good fight, top to bottom. And they're all worthy of headlining a UK event. And you know, I'm privileged to be part of it. I'm privileged to be top of the bill, and it's some, you know, these moments are something that are going to live with me forever. You know, and I'm proud of that.
Yeah, and so you should be. It'll be an incredible night. And we've got an interview with Megan on the channel as well, so go and check that out. She's an absolute diamond. I'm also really, really looking forward to that fight. I remember her last fight in, I think it was October, wasn't it? Where she pulled that off in the third hour, with jumping around my living room like, wow.
Yeah.
So she's an absolute diamond. Just before we finish up, because you're incredibly graceful with your time on a Sunday afternoon, Dakota Dicheva, what did you make of her performance in the PFL? How was everything with her?
I'm not surprised. You know, as expected. I know how good she is. I feel like the people around her know how good she is. And I feel like we just need to keep getting her tested and pushed so she can develop and progress. She has that mindset of a champ already. I feel like the sky's a limit, as I did, you know, when I met her a few years ago. And I feel like she's only been progressing and growing and developing as a fighter, and also outside of the gym since I've known her. Next one is in June, I'm pretty sure. So again, I don't know who yet, but I'm expecting the same outcome, to be honest. I just feel like the more people see it, the more they'll believe it.
Yeah, she looked incredible. She really did look incredible.
And she's still got more.
Yeah, that's
more.
That's the crazy thing.
It's all coming out, and you know, she's a worldwide star now, and it's only going to keep growing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, man, Aaron, I'll give you the final word, mate. Anyone you want to shout out, any sponsors or anything like that before we finish up?
No, all good, mate. I just want to, you know, thank everyone who always supports me and helps prepare me and has helped me be here for these moments. I'm very grateful. I'm proud. You know, OKTAGON are coming to take over the European scene, and I'm thankful that they're putting me as the main event as well. And I'm looking forward to it. And then big up to Wrexham, back-to-back promotions. So I'll give them a little shout out as well. And hopefully we might see a few of them in OKTAGON next weekend.
Let's go. Let's hope so and get you on the pitch should we pick up the belt. So that is Aaron Aby, OKTAGON 56, April 20th in Birmingham. Top of the bill, facing Sam Creasy. Thank you so much for your time as always, mate. It's an absolute pleasure. Best of luck fighting, mate.
Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure, mate. I always enjoy the interviews. Thank you.
You're welcome.